crazy, man. How much this has played a big role in my life. Football, faith, family, and barbecue. It all kind of revolves around this spot here, where I obviously played football here, but met Sonny Tillman while I was here. I met my wife while I was here. My faith got started while I was here. The four most important things in my life started right where I'm standing right now. I was Steve Spurrier's last SEC championship. Made me who I am today, and I'm damn proud of who I am. My name is Shannon Snell. I'm a pitmaster for Sonny's Barbecue. I've done a lot of stuff in life, but being a pitmaster is one of the coolest things I've ever done. I wanted my life to have more meaning than just football. Football is a big part of it, and I was very successful in it, but I said, hey, look, I need a career. I wanted to serve people. I feel like that's part of my purpose in life. There's got to be something to this nostalgic feeling in this place where you played at a university that you love, you work for a company where you love what you do. My earliest memory was my grandfather throwing down on that barbecue. He'd be in the back and you see that smoke rising up, and he had like this big old black barrel smoker. That smell was just unmistakable. When I was in high school, my dad and my brother, and this is talking about some of the best times that we had, we would go to Sonny's and we do all-you-can-eat chicken. Thursday night before the football game, because we played Friday Night Lights, there was never a Thursday that passed that we wouldn't do this. So this is where it all started. Sonny's on Waldo Road. It's a little bit nostalgic for me because my career started here. I met Sonny Tillman, owner of Sonny's Barbecue. I met him in passing. I was a fanboy, let's call it what it is. And he's a Florida Gator fan, so he was a fan of mine. So I was like, man, he's got a good job if he's able to do barbecue every single day. I think that kind of sparked an interest, along with some of the best times in my life with my grandfather. After I got out of football, I said, you know what? I'm gonna lay low for a couple of months. A month later, I was doing barbecue. Just like in football, there's blood, sweat, and tears that go behind that finished product. I poured so much into barbecue, into learning my craft over a course of 6 years, that the payoff was just so rewarding. When I got my Pitmaster certification, it gave me goosebumps like it did when I ran out in front of 93,000 people. And it's the same thing my father told me a long time ago. He's like, son, whatever you do, you try to be the best. So if you walk in somewhere and you see they don't have a smoke ring, you can question the fact that they use real wood. We use real wood because of the fact that we have our smoke ring right there. If it feels like a zipper, it ain't done. That means the intramuscular fibers haven't broken down. We need to get him up on the line, for real. What is Shannon Snell's purpose at Sonny's Barbecue? It is to put smiles on people's faces. And everything I've learned in 13 years, I want to pass that along. Leave fat on it because you need covering and need something to kind of melt over top of it, but you still want to make sure that you trim out the stuff that you're not going to eat. I had great people in my life, whether it be my dad, my mom, my grandfather, Steve Spurrier, Sonny Tillman, but there's also that young man or that young woman out there that don't have that kind of influence in their life. Part of what I'm put here for is to influence people. God gave me the platform to do it with barbecue. I love that my daughters and my wife get to try new recipes. I really want to pass the information and what I do along to my son, because at some point in time, it would be the coolest thing if my son was talking to somebody and saying, you know what, this is why I love barbecue. And he's able to spit off the things that him and his dad were able to do. Woo-wee. That thing there, I'm gonna cut against the grain. Nice pencil width slices. That's when you know it's really well cooked. Try that. Solid, right? Yeah. It always feels good when people remember back then, but it damn sure doesn't feel as good as it does when the people say, well, I know you now because you cooked my daughter that sweet slab of ribs for her birthday. They both created memories. One more personal than the other, because if somebody says, man, I've never had a better slab of ribs than when I had yours, that's hard to beat. A brisket takes 12 hours to cook, but there's 12 hours of love and attention that goes into it. When it's done and I feel that, hey, this is the best thing I can produce, I'm proud of it. It's one of those things where it's like an accomplishment. It's like winning a football game. Or it's like going home when your daughter comes up and gives you a hug and says, "Daddy, I love you." It's the same thing.